Hello and welcome into the Long Island Sports Network, broadcasting live from the Freeport Bubble for one more time this season as the Hofstra Pride round out their home schedule against the Pioneers of Sacred Heart University. Welcome everyone, my name is Ian Binky. Thanks so much for joining us on your Saturday night in what is homecoming and senior night, both at the same time here for Hofstra over in the basketball arena. The basketball team celebrating a 59-56 win over Towson, and now here on the ice, the club hockey team looking to round out their home schedule with a win, honoring the seniors here tonight in Freeport. The Pride coming into this one off of a tough loss last night just across the way in Syosset. Played against a very good Stony Brook team, a team that has only lost one game in regulation here in Division III play. But for Stony Brook, they were able to retaliate. Hofstra got a lead in the second period with Dylan Kinzer's third goal of the year. However, it was a lead they would be unable to hold. Stony Brook able to tie it in the third, and then eventually just 55 seconds into overtime, Spiro Markoulis bested on the game-winning tally. So the Pride looking to round out the schedule with a win, trying to carry some of that momentum from a Florida trip, which saw them win a game up against Embry-Riddle, always a very strong program down in the Sunshine State. And here tonight, they're going up against a team from the north in Stony Brook, or rather in Sacred Heart, pardon, as the Pioneers make their way down here. Snapped a two-game losing streak the other night, a game that got underway at 10 o'clock, and they got a win against a Division I foe in the Fordham Rams. That game also went to overtime, a 4-3 decision. That game ended a two-game skid thanks to a couple of goals from Luke Body. Power play strike early on. He got the first two goals of the game for the Pioneers and eventually won that one in the extra frame. Pioneers have had Hofstra's number so far this year in the 8-5 win here on the island back in October. That one saw Colin Birch, the star of the game, 2 goals and an assist. And then just in December, a game that kicked off Hofstra's and Pioneers' schedule on December 1st, a 5-1 decision in which Jack Kinahan got a pair of goals. And in that game, the Sacred Heart Pioneers rattled 60 shots on goal. And that was something that Hofstra did a lot better last night, limiting the chances for the Seawolves. The teams ended up dead even with 35 shots on goal after the last puck crossed the goal line that gave Stony Brook the win. But Hofstra in it from the start, and they're hoping to keep that trend the same here tonight against a solid Pioneers team. As we talked about, they played competition at all levels. A D1 foe last night for the Pioneers and a Division III opponent now in the form of the Hofstra Pride. We mentioned senior night as the starting lineups were given to us just before we got going. The seniors given a ceremony a little bit before we got underway and live here on the Long Island Sports Network. Talk about the goaltending matchup right now, and Spiro Markoulis, as we talked about for Hofstra, he got the short end of the stick in the overtime game last night. Had a really, really tough luck, should say. Had a phenomenal night, stopped 33 of 35 shots heading his way. Save percentage really good on the year. GAA not really reflective of the strong season he's had just because he's faced so many shots. GAA just south of 5 as we stand right now. But aside from last night, he had faced 53 or more shots in his last 3 games, including 66 the last time they were here in Freeport against Central Florida. So the Knights gave him a lot of fits. He was solid, kept them off the scoreboard whenever he could, but in the end, not enough for Hofstra to get the decision. So tonight against the Sacred Heart Pioneers, trying to limit that traffic on a goal. Meanwhile, at the other end, James Birch has been the rock all year long for SHU. He draws in again, making his 16th appearance between the pipes, an 8-5 record, a GAA of 3.96 as a junior from North Attleboro, Massachusetts. Draws back in after getting the start last night against the Rams of Fordham. just allowing 3 goals behind him on 27 shots. Starting lineups for the two teams here, we'll go ahead and give them to you. First for Sacred Heart, they start with Jack Kinahan, can't-miss freshman from Stamford, Connecticut. He's alongside Luke Body, coming off of a 2-goal performance against Fordham. The sophomore gets back in the lineup tonight to get the start. Brendan Murphy alongside him, the freshman from Monroe, New York, alongside Jason Benanti and Thomas Bayer minding the blue lines. Alongside them, or rather on the other side, against them for Hofstra. Highlight the seniors first and foremost. Dan Hartshut and Devin Roy alongside LISN's own Brendan Yerkes getting the start here for the Pride, getting the final chance to skate here in Freeport. They're not done quite yet. We'll tell you about that in just a little bit. They're also accompanied by Matt Matarazzo, the upstart sophomore, and then Dylan Kinzer joins them to start this one out, the starting 5 for the Hofstra Pride. But we mentioned this is the last game here in Freeport for Hofstra, but they are not done yet. Of course, they have the playoffs up in Connecticut, up in Shelton, which we will be covering right here on the Long Island Sports Network. That's coming at the end of the month. The last weekend of the month is when that all kicks off, just north of us across the Long Island Sound. But they still have a game to go here on Long Island on February 9th. That's next Friday. These Hofstra Pride will be heading over to UBS Arena once again, but this time means a lot more. Last year, they played Stony Brook in what was really a scrimmage, kind of funky rules, 10-minute periods, no break between them, just trying to get in as much hockey as possible. A game that the Pride won comfortably. But again, it was just a scrimmage, nothing more than that, a tune-up before the playoffs. But this one, completely different. They face an opponent, a game opponent in the University of New Haven, in a game that matters. The final game of the regular season for the Pride, trying to make a statement against New Haven. And of course, that one, if you aren't able to get tickets to that one, and there's still time, I believe, to go get your tickets to it, check out the Club Hockey website, or rather the Instagram page. They give you a link to go buy Islanders tickets, which through that gives you access to that game at UBS Arena, the home of the New York Islanders. But if you're unable to make it, don't worry, don't fret. We'll have you covered right here on the Long Island Sports Network for that game. Be sure to tune in. Game that gets underway at 6 o'clock as the Pride take it to the ice where the Islanders call home. In the meantime, though, they want to finish out senior night with a win here on home ice. It's the Hofstra Pride up against the Sacred Heart Pioneers. Coming up just on the other side of this break on the Long Island Sports Network. There's your national anthem as we are set to go for action here in Freeport. Sacred Heart Pioneers making the trip down from Connecticut to face the Hofstra Pride. Pride closing out their home slate here at the Freeport Rec Center in Freeport, Long Island. Pride are in the home whites, and on the opposite side in the road grays, something you usually hear in baseball. But Sacred Heart donning those road gray uniforms with the red and white trim. Again, the starting goaltending matchup, Spiro Markoulis goes for Hofstra. His 5-7 record goes against James Birch for Sacred Heart. He is 8-5. Last second change for Hofstra, Joey Schnatter swaps in for Matt Matarazzo. He'll take the draw at center ice up against Thomas Bayer for Sacred Heart. One last time here in Freeport. We are underway for the last time in 23-24. Pioneers win the draw. A long pass to get started. Tipped in by Jack Kinahan. Kinahan, backhand pass right in front. Missed the pass intended for the slot. Back down low to Kinahan. Kinahan feeds to the far side. Racing to keep it in, touching it down, but not in the zone. Luke Body and a loose puck chipped up and over to avoid a shorthanded, or rather a odd man rush the other end. Brennan Murphy leaves over, a backhand shot. Markoulis gets it down to make the save. Over to the far side, looking for some space. Taking it to the end boards, Brendan Murphy into a scrum. Take it free, wraparound shot. Didn't get on target. Pride able to send this all the way down, and that is icing against the Pride. As we mentioned in the pregame talk, last time these two teams faced, it was only a 5-1 scoreline, and I say only because the Pride were heavily outshot. 60 shots on goal for Sacred Heart in that game. Strong goaltending for the Pride, as it's been the case all year long, prevented it from being a really crooked number on the board. Noah O'Neill takes it down low for Sacred Heart, looks for a lane, takes to the top. Long range shot, tipped up and into the netting for another whistle, another offensive zone draw coming up for the Pioneers. And this is just what Sacred Heart can do. They keep the puck in the offensive zone, wear down the defense, and get the dirty, gritty goals. And if you're the Pride, you got to find a way to get the puck up and out of the zone. Not necessarily worry about set up a breakout, but just clear the pressure whenever you get the chance. There's a quick shot from the point. Markoulis takes the angle away from Sam Wiener. Two leaders on this Sacred Heart team in goal scoring. Both have 13, Kinahan and O'Donnell, but they got to chase this back as Frank Feza dumps in for Hofstra. It's cut off by Timur Kadyrov, far side. Now they're fighting for it. James Van Aaron down there. Van Aaron only 2 points through his last 10. Long shot from the point goes wide. Chris Colo look for the tip. Feza chooses to leave the zone, resets with Del Panino. Chris Colo looking for Van Aaron. Second try, he's able to pin in as the defensive pairing changes for Hofstra. Sacred Heart with it. Coming up the far side, Noah O'Neill. He pumps the brakes, leaves it back for Sam Wiener. Wiener's pass intercepted by Van Aaron. Didn't have the numbers. Long shot sent towards James Birch. Taking no chances, he covers up. Early going in this one between the Pioneers and the Pride, no score. Just getting out there now, one of the freshmen, Chris Maurer with it. He's at the point. He's taking it down low. David O'Brien, another one of those new names. Couldn't get the pass linked up at the point. Matt Casola's pass intercepted. The clearing attempt bounced off the back of Timur Kadyrov, delayed the move forward, but now with numbers, here comes Sacred Heart. Brendan O'Donnell, he fires. That one handcuffed Markoulis, but missed wide. From the point, Colin Birch looking for it. This one sent around the net. Comes over to the far side, O'Brien unable to clear for the Pride. Sticks cancel out. as this goes high off the glass. Back to the near side boards, Kristen Maurer racing to it. Maurer unable to clear as that's pinned right back in. Now to the far side. That one past everyone. Will it have the legs for icing? It does. And another whistle here. And if you're used to some of the high school rules here, tuning in to the Long Island Sports Network, no line changes for your team if you're guilty of the icing. So pro-like rules. Some tired skaters out for Hofstra here. Casola and company still out. They weren't able to get off. Tie up on the draw. Puck comes to the near side. Now taking to the far, Andre Hamparzumian. Behind the net to Anthony Garacci. Garacci looking for a lane to the point. Given over to Colin Birch. He hurries it back to Garacci. Hamparzumian fires. That went off the boot of a skate. Timur Kadirov racing back the other way. Takes a check from Colin Birch as he dumps in. O'Brien trying to lift the stick there. Hofstra racing on for a change. That's the puck in the attacking end. Over to the far side. Beaten to it, Matarazzo. As Liam Joy leads the breakout. This comes all the way down. Markoulis forced to play it. There was no icing signal. Puck turned over nearly on the near side. Kadirov shut off by Colin Birch. Puck collected here by Jake Rook. Rook fires, pad stop by James Birch. Comes over to the far side. Sacred Heart just able to clear. Hartshut couldn't keep it in. To the near side, Hamparzumian leaves off to Anthony Garacci. With some space to rumble, Colin Birch. Birch fires, glove save Markoulis, rebound to the end boards. Scooped up near side, Pride try to break out. Matarazzo takes a shoulder check from Thomas Bayer, but he is still able to dump in. Jason Benanti to the far side. Cuts through the middle. Benanti called for offside. Teammate a little bit ahead of the play. Room on the ice starting to open up here after Sacred Heart controlled the first couple of minutes. But the Pride doing just what they need to. Get the puck out of the zone, prevent their opponents from really dominating puck possession. As Devin Roy tries to move this forward on the near side. Scrum right in front of us here in the broadcast booth from Freeport Rec Center. Moving back in, Jack Kinahan. Kinahan right in front, fires, missed the net. Good look for Jack Kinahan, one of the leading goal scorers for Sacred Heart so far this season. Tied up near side, then given over to Matarazzo. Tried to force it over to Jake Rook. Pass intercepted. Comes back the other end. Settling down, Hamparzumian. And a long shot, deflects wide. Back on the near side. Sacred Heart trying to create some space. Comes over to the point. Luke Body dancing with it. Kept it in at the blue line, but then coughed it up. Some room to rumble for Matarazzo as Hofstra heads off for a change. He's out there 1-on-3. Does a good job getting the puck in deep. Then lets it go. He'll that off the ice, but not before Luke Body races in with it. He's shut it off by Brendan Yerkes. Puck stays in on a good play from Noah O'Neill. Given up behind the net. Over to Nick Aloisio. Aloisio tipped along by Brendan Yerkes. Teams play catch here between the blue lines. This goes through, no icing. They say Aloisio could have played it. That allows Noah O'Neill to chase it down for the gray and white. Nice pass over the shot. Good save by Markoulis. Took that away from Sam Wiener charging in. Long shot from the point. Blocker saved Markoulis. That was Alexander Giuliano with the look. Schnatter couldn't get it clear. Sent over. Pass a little bit behind O'Neill. Couldn't get it on goal with the shot. Pressure starting to heap on. O'Neill fires. Markoulis got a pad to that. Still in the zone. Giuliano wraps it around. Loose stick for Hofstra defender. He picks it up in the corner. Now the Pride able to take it away. Flip down. They can get off the ice for a change. So they take advantage though. Eddie Jackson. Drop pass. That shot tipped up and it's still in the field of play. Schnatter Still can't clear. O'Neal kicks it down. Second try. Frank Feza finds his way to James Van Aaron. He gets around one, but then double team just pokes it along. Clock still ticking here in the first period. Van Aaron fires. Blocker save. Birch just got a piece of that. One and done go the Pride is now Sacred Heart. A 2-on-1 and a whistle. They say he was offside, but that was a very close play. Take a quick look back at that one to see the break there. It was a 2-on-1 opportunity. This comes back to the near side. It was a 2-on-1 break for Sacred Heart, but referee, the linesman ruled they were just a half step ahead of the play. A bang-bang play at the blue line. Markoulis tips this along over to the far side. Sacred Heart to it first. They tie up on the near side, trying to keep it in. Colin Birch unable to do it. Pride clear out with the help of a tip. So no icing. Got to collect it behind the net. Near side, Jake Kalani tried to move it along. There to shut it down, Dan Hartshut. The Pride captain, graduate student in his 6th year with the club. Winding down his Pride career, and it has been a long and fruitful one. Frank Feza still fighting hard for it. Tried to pass off to Hartshut, but he was waiting over at the center of the blue line. So it comes all the way down. Jordan Cox couldn't settle that puck down. Second try at it for David O'Brien. Timur Kadyrov leaves it along for Luke Body to pick up for Sacred Heart. Body's pass tipped along by Kalani. It stalls right at neutral ice. Chris Del Panino on the puck for the Pride. Dylan Kinzer. His long pass picked off. Nearly picked up by O'Brien. He'll instead chase Liam Joy, who finds a teammate and then gives it right back. Liam Joy for the Pioneers. Moves in. Left off the shot. Goes off the end boards. Left along to the far side. Del Panino able to work clear with O'Brien. O'Brien's pass comes through to Kadyrov. Onside entry for Hofstra. Kadyrov left the puck behind. Del Panino over to Rook. Rook, one more into the middle. Kadyrov hit hard as he charged towards the net. Then the puck left behind. Some room for Karachi. Anthony Karachi poked aside by Chris Del Panino. Great defensive play. Keeping in at the blue line, Luke Body. He wraps it around, but it comes over to Kadyrov for the Pride. Has some heat coming to his back. That puck gloved down by Jason Benanti, but not on the right side of the blue line. Has to tag back up. Benanti fires. Stick save Markoulis. Rebound to the far side, and now clear. Karachi takes a hard check from his opposite number 14 in Timur Kadyrov. This chipped away by the Pride. Now some space to move. Nice dangle in. Matarazzo lost his balance. He did get a backhanded shot on goal. Birch able to make the save. Nick Aloisio gives it to Devin Roy. Roy from the left wing. Passes off to Matarazzo. Pass a little bit behind him. Couldn't keep possession. Van Aaron mixes it up. Puck nearly given to Jack Kinahan on a silver platter. It's left behind. A quick shot that hit Aloisio. Second shot, good save. Markoulis got a piece of that second effort. Puck left to be in front of goal. Now scooped up by Devin Roy. He opts to just flip this along. Looks to get it to Van Aaron, but he's beaten to the race. Over halfway through period one. No score between Hofstra and Sacred Heart, as this whistled down for offside against the Pioneers. Couple of chances for both teams, but so far nothing on the scoreboard. It is a busy night in the sporting world. This is a quick shot saved by Markoulis. Look on goal from Jack Kinahan. Back to the near side, stalling out right at the blue line. Now picking up Jordan Cox. Cox has been one of the leaders of this Hofstra Pride offense since the start of the new year. Left along on the outside of the cage. Up to the top, Dylan Kinzer. Kinzer with the goal last night. Only goal for Hofstra. Sent on goal right to the back door. Great save, Birch. Man, oh man, what a chance for the Hofstra Pride. We get a perfect look at it right here. Pivoting across. Great save from Birch. James Birch has been one of the big reasons why Sacred Heart has been a force in the AAU, the Empire, this year. Matt Casola unable to clear that puck. Dylan Kinzer has to face an odd amount of Pioneers lurking in the attacking zone, but he does find its way to Matt Casola. Casola with the A on his chest, fires a nice pass to Kadyrov. Kadyrov rips one wide of the net. Just keeping that in, Dan Hartshut. Trying to give it to Kadyrov, keeping it again, Dan Hartshut. List left along to Colin Birch, he picks it up. Pride a good shift here on the forecheck, but now Pioneers able to clear, now needing to race to it. Dylan Kinzer, he does beat his man in Eddie Jackson. The puck pinned in the defensive zone now for Hofstra. Kadyrov trying to clear, no luck. This is sent to the far side, setting it up for Sacred Heart. Puck into skates. Casola trying to clear, no luck. Bounced off the leg of Barry Burke. Kicked out of the scrum there by Dan Hartshut. Left along to Kadyrov, 1-on-2. As Hofstra going for an unmasked change. There's a puck that's fired on goal, and it looked like pinned to the mask of James Birch, as now he gives it up. Face-off won by the Pride. Chris Colo fires. Tipped along by James Birch. Cam Kelly with it in the corner. Couldn't keep possession. Sacred Heart clear it out. Barry Burke couldn't chase that puck down. Brendan Yerkes tumbles down as a whistle blows. Looked like an offside entry against the Pride. Another face-off win for Hofstra as Chris Colo pins this in. Trying to go into the middle. That's cut off by Jake Kalani. Sent to the near side. Sacred Heart looking for some room as that's played with a hand pass called. Face-off will come right back to where they dropped the puck the last time. Joey Schnatter wins it. Del Panino trying to get it right back in. Brendan Yerkes fighting for it up against Jason Benanti. Benanti wins the battle. Moving free, Barry Burke. Burke gives over near side, Kalani. Kalani back to Burke, fires, missed wide. Attempted clear, no good. Luke Body hustles in. Body high to low. To the right wing, left along. Burke fighting for it, gets a pass into the middle. That's cut off, left right in front. Covering up is Spiro Markoulis. Take a look here, the wraparound came out in front. Del Panino tried to work clear, but coughed up. And then Markoulis to the puck first. Left right at the blue line, keeping it in. Anthony Garacci Shot from the far side. Markoulis didn't need to get a piece of that one. Went off the glass. Liam Joy holds for Sacred Heart. 2-on-2 board battle right in front of the Hofstra locker room. Again, Body holds in for Sacred Heart. Joy wraps it around, gets it to the blender. Garachi behind the net. Gives over to Luke Body at the point. Body sends it right back where it came from. Garachi out in front. One-timer goes wide. Kristen Maurer trying to fight it free. Comes around and past the blue line. Everyone has to tag back up for SHU. They do it quickly. Garachi left that behind. Comes to Maurer. He fires it all the way down. Arm goes up. This is icing. Pressure starting to heap on once again. Had it a couple times so far in the first period. Sacred Heart definitely doing a good job trying to execute the game plan, hold the puck in the attacking zone, wear down this Pride defense. Some long shifts in the first period. See if that pays dividends. Shot off the draw. Markoulis able to shut it down. The Pride again sent all the way down. Another icing call. Officials with a keen eye telling everyone who tried to sneak their way out on the ice for the Pride to head right back out there, take this draw. Matarazzo in for the faceoff. He loses it. The whiff on the shot from SHU. They set it up. Shot from the point. Well, high and wide, puck left right there. But picking it up, Jake Rook from the wrong side of center. Clear, dumps in, and another icing goal. Rook just a little bit impatient there. Firing from the wrong side of the red line. A lot of officials will give you a step, but he had about a step and a half, maybe two, over on the defensive side. Don't think many refs will give you the benefit of the doubt there. Puck comes to the side of the cage. Hartshut trying to work it clear. Comes to the near side, now flip clear. Finally, one that is not icing against Hofstra. They're able to get the change they were desperately looking for. Sacred Heart able to keep the puck right back in the attacking zone. A shot tipped up in the air. Markoulis lost it for a moment. Get ahead, no second effort. Van Aaron leaves for Jordan Cox. Cox tied up, lost possession. This comes to the far side, now to the middle. Unable to settle that down. Alexander Giuliano. Pride dump in. Spinning pass and a beauty. It finds O'Neal. O'Neal cuts in, fires. That one grazed the pads of Markoulis. The second shot goes wide. Frank Feza clears, and now a chance, maybe some room. Van Aaron leaves behind. Dangling in. A shot never came from Cox. Now he's caught up in a board battle. Puck behind the net. Appeals for a penalty, none coming as a member of the Pride now getting back to his feet. SHU worked the puck clear. O'Neal fires, shot blocked by Kinzer. Frank Feza works clear. O'Brien a little bit behind that one. This moves out of the attacking end. Noah O'Neal, long shift for him, but one more shot into the breadbasket of Spiro Markoulis, and he hangs on. Looking up at the scoreboard here in the corner. 2:27 to go in the first period. Neither team with the edge so far. Tie up on the draw, still battling for it. Now SHU gets it clear. Jackson back to the point, kicked down by Colin Birch. Tried to send one on. O'Neal got a little bit too much on the tip. William Hayes sends back to O'Neal. One more to the point. Humparzumian sends wide. O'Neal resets to Birch. Colin Birch taken down by Timur Kadyrov. Left the puck behind. Some confusion a little bit from Kadyrov. He could have had some open ice. But good job using the body, shutting down an offensive chance nonetheless. Chipping in, William Hayes. Hayes chases it down himself. Gives over to Eddie Jackson. Jackson back to the blue line, Colin Birch. Colin Birch fires. That's kicked down by Matt Casola. He flips clear. See if enough snow is on the ice. They say yes it is, even though that did reach the end boards. Linesman waved off the icing. Nearly too many men on Hofstra caught in the midst of a line change. Just able to lift the skate as this whistle is for offsides. Back and forth, first period. Neither team able to get the upper hand just yet. Pride able to tip this ahead. A race to it. And that is won by the Pioneers. They clear it out. But possession right to Dylan Kinzer. Kinzer plays off the glass, batted down by a hand. Kinzer finds it, gives to the far side. It's dumped in by Hartshut. Pride setting up the attack. Under a minute to go in the first. Brendan O'Donnell to it for SHU. Drop pass back to O'Donnell. O'Donnell motors in. Has some room. He fires. Markoulis able to save. Puck back to the near side. Kalani lost it on the stick lift. Matarazzo chasing it down. Hofstra one more change. Taking advantage, Bonanti. Over to Hartshut. Now here's a chance for Hofstra. Needing a race to it, Matarazzo. Final seconds of the first. Unable to do anything with that as it's on the near side. Left along, tipped along by Feza. Just wide of the net. Back to the point, no shot comes as the first period comes to a close. Nothing on the big board despite the effort from both teams, but the Pride and the Pioneers head to the locker rooms scoreless after 20. Well, grab a drink, grab a refreshment, but don't go too far. An intriguing second period shaping up right here in Freeport on the Long Island Sports Network. That's what WRHU is turning into. There's no way that Adobe's going to crash like 3 times, and we're going to lose the recording to our 5th game this year. Yeah. Ready to roll for period 2 here in Freeport on the Long Island Sports Network. Hofstra Pride Club Ice Hockey is scoreless through 20 minutes against the Sacred Heart Pioneers. Ian Binky on the call here in Freeport for the final home game senior night for the Hofstra Pride. So far, the defense has been celebrated through the opening 20 minutes. Both goaltenders have had to make some good saves, but none better than James Birch's opportunity to make a stop on Hofstra's backdoor opportunity midway through that period. That's the best chance for either team so far through 20. Set to go for period 2. As puck is dropped, we are underway. Sacred Heart gets possession first. Sent to the far side, and that's where they'll start this motion, tipped in by Jason Medanti. Back to the point, sent along by Giuliano. He scores! Right through the traffic. Sacred Heart scores first. Shot will come right from the blue line. Traffic comes through in front, and really no, just one that eludes the netminder. So Benanti scores, Giuliano scores. It's his 3rd goal of the season. And the first goal comes just a few seconds into period 2. For Giuliano, that's his 3rd goal of the year, but his 2nd of the year against the Pride. He had a goal and 2 assists through the opening 2 games against Hofstra, as that one comes right through. Now make it 2-2 through about 2.5 as this goes for icing against Hofstra. That's tough luck for Markoulis, a shot that if you ask him, he'll say he wants back. And a little bit of a knuckling puck from Alexander Giuliano that just found a home. Hofstra moves clear with it. Dan Hartshut rips up the near side and then takes a big crunch from Jack Kinahan. Back along the boards, Van Aaron looks for some space. Left the puck behind. Possession racing forward with Kinahan. Kinahan working against Hartshut. Rather, that's Casola. Casola forced it free. Cox fires. Pillow stop from James Birch. Another nice kick save. Quickly on the counterattack, Brendan Murphy Murphy leaves over to Wiener. Sam Wiener. Rather, that's Thomas Bayer, pardon. Bayer left behind at the point. Deflected shot from Luke Body, up and high. Quick shot in front. That one hit someone's skate. Benanti couldn't find a lane to get through. This is cleared down. Deflection, so no icing. Puck turned over to Matarazzo. Devin Roy looking to move it over. No luck there on the clever pass from Roy, but now he gloves this down. Tried to find Matarazzo again. Deflected wide. Sent to the near side, then to the far. Roy looking for the pass in front. He's hauled down. Wanted the call, not going to get it. Jake Rook leaves behind. Roy held up a little bit there, legally so. Chris Colo sends around the boards. Devin Roy spins, looks out in front, missed everyone, and rolls all the way down into Hofstra's own end. Bumped along to Chris Colo. He finds Matarazzo. That Matarazzo works in, slides one through. Little bit behind it was David O'Brien on the tip in. Jake Kalani had to go back to get that puck. Some help from John Campbell. Campbell playing in his first game for SHU. Right at the blue line, that's kept in. Colin Birch fires. A pad stop, rebound, comes to the near side. Birch walks, fires. Blocker save from Markoulis. Tipped up to the blue line, Campbell holds in. Spinning pass, then tipped away. Kadyrov flips up and not clear. Glove down by Colin Birch. Over to Sam Wiener. He couldn't keep it in a second time. Casola beaten to it, and then this touched up. A call for a slash. A man heading to the box. That is Sam Wiener, and the first power play belongs to Hofstra. Hofstra's power play unit comes in just under 20% on the year. 22 power play goals this season, so a lot of opportunities and a lot of power play strikes. Meanwhile, the PK unit has struggled a little bit for SHU, under 80% on the year. Just under 79, in fact. As Pride set it up. Kinzer fires through traffic, goes off the stick of James Birch. Set back up, cross ice feed, shot from Cox goes wide. Settled down near side, taking back to the point, Van Aaron. He knocks his man down, no call coming. Pride can continue on the man advantage. On the far side, Kinzer, he wraps it around. Del Panino holds in near side. Pride looking for some room. Del Panino walks in, leaves off. Van Aaron's shot blocked definitively by Giuliano, and he opts to go on the rush. Giuliano with some room. Walks in, fires. Good defensive recovery by Frank Feza. Through his body, through his stick at the play, got the block. Does work out for SHU though, half the penalty gone. This is great for the penalty killers. Just hold the puck along the boards. Now they get it free. Delayed penalty coming up again. It looks like this time Hofstra guilty. As Van Aaron heading off. There's a little bit of frustration, it seemed, in the corner. So they got about a minute and a little bit of change on that power play look, and that'll be the time we have to work here 4-on-4. As soon as SHU's penalty expires, as that goes right through the crease, they'll have their first chance on the man advantage as Kadyrov chases this down, has a 1-on-2. Timur Kadyrov, his move goes off the skate of a defender. He shoves his mate up to the glass. That's William Hayes. Kadyrov takes another check from Hayes. And some help from Jason Benanti, able to move it free for Sacred Heart. Benanti moves in. He fires. Markoulis got a pad to that. As Pride able to flip this down. It takes a tip from Luke Body's stick. No icing. Time continues to run. Player out of the box for SHU. They got 1:10 to work on the power play. Charge in with William Hayes. Hayes leaves along. Set up by Body. Over on the far side. They set it up. Still nothing in the heart. Looking out around the perimeter. Now they find some space. Shot saved by Markoulis. Scrambling for it. And that's tipped wide by his defense. And Chris Colo fires it hard all the way down. 25 seconds to go on the man advantage for SHU. One last rush. Kalani left behind. Jake Rook watches it go a little bit further for good measure. Body to his right. Works in. Matarazzo, thorn in his side. They come out in front and score. Clever pass from Body out in front, and they double the lead. A perfect look at it here. The wraparound comes right in front. Nothing that Spiro Markoulis could do. Jake Kalani was right there to receive the pass from Body. Kalani gets his 10th goal of the season, first on the power play. And the freshman from Roxbury, New York, is on the score sheet in this one. 2-0 now in favor of the Pioneers. This comes all the way down, won't be icing, as Kalani wins the race to the puck. Force Markoulis to play it, he can't get it out. And the Pride able to do it with Feza. Jordan Cox moves in, comes right over to Hardshut. He tumbles down, draws the penalty as he drove to the net. So good work by the Pride. Forcing the penalty. Colin Birch to the box. Second opportunity already of the night. Back-to-back chances practically. Sprinkled in there was the penalty against Hofstra. Came back to bite him. Power play goal from Jake Kalani. It's made it a 2-goal game. Jake Rook knocked down, but Matarazzo picks it up. Teammates having to hold up here at the blue line as they try to cross it. Chris Colo had to take it away, stripped and on the move. Brendan Murphy works in and just lost the puck. Matarazzo got back on defense. Pride having trouble establishing the attacking end. Here on the man advantage. That's flipped over to Matarazzo. Matarazzo works in, but then quickly sealed off as the Pioneers clear it down. Just seems like the Pride moving through quicksand when they get to that blue line. Can't move through it, not with any kind of speed, as Van Aaron lost that one. Murphy waits for it. Now fires it hard off the far side boards. Nearly a chance to move forward shorthanded. Instead, Jordan Cox picks it up. Cox works in, moves to his right. Looks for Feza near side. Back to Chris Colo at the point. Chris Colo back to Feza. Feza lost it, and Sacred Heart again able to fire it down. 30 seconds to go now on the Hofstra power play. Your second of the night, 0 for 1 so far. Trying to avoid going 0 for 2. Del Panino deflects this try, but not enough to prevent the puck from leaving the attacking end. And then this cut off. Ordering in. That's Sam Wiener. Wiener to the net. Just missed. Markoulis committed to the shot. Ended up not coming on net. But the final seconds tick away And man out of the box. Unsuccessful attempt on the power play. Pride didn't get a shot. Van Aaron rips in, fires, knuckling puck wide of the cage. To the far side, Andre Hamparzumian picks it up, but then give it right back. Shot from Cox into the glove of Birch. James Birch, although he hasn't had a whole ton to do in this game, has been solid when he's called into action. Kristen Maurer sends around. Couldn't keep it in on the second try. Now a 2-on-1 rush the other way. Comes over the shot. Pad stop. Joy looking to get it past Markoulis. No luck. And Joy holds in on the near side. Flipped towards goal by John Campbell. Comes into the middle. Garachi leaves off to Hamparzumian in his shot. Markoulis able to get to it. Hofstra now falling into really what they didn't want to do in this game, playing solely defense, hoping for something to go their way. That's a nice glove snag from Spiro Markoulis on the point shot. John Campbell went and had a hack at it. But the Pride, when they have success, they clear the zone. Again, not necessarily a team that's built off of sustained attacking pressure. But you don't want to pass it up if you get the opportunity. A couple power plays that they've seen go away, as this is stick to side by Markoulis. One that went away because of a penalty, and another that they just never got established. Here's a chance for Casola. His stick tied up firmly. Great work defensively by the Pioneers. It was Anthony Garachi making life difficult. Still doing it now as he finds his way over to Bonanti. Jason Bonanti works his way in. Steered aside by Aloisio, still got a shot off. Then nearly found his puck right back to him. But now the Pride able to clear with Kadyrov. Hofstra go for the line change here. Period with a long shift in the second. Got to get that puck in deep, all the more important. I got to admire the sacrifice there from Devin Roy, diving to get back on side. And in the end, it was all for naught. Work back to Campbell. John Campbell walks, fires, pad stop Markoulis, rebound. Picked up by Hofstra, but gloved down at the blue line by O'Neill. Noah O'Neill got into a scrum right in front. Puck into the near side corner. Battle for it there. Sacred Heart with it, looking for the lane. Comes over to the point. Here's a slapper. Pad stop Markoulis. Took it away from Bonanti. Still there. Markoulis falls to his rear. And now the officials whistle it dead. As Markoulis picking himself up, we take a look at the replay. He made the stop on the initial shot. Players just hacking at it. Eventually, officials lost sight. I believe Markoulis was on top of him. Markoulis now finally getting to his skates. Took a little bit to collect himself there. Shot off the draw after SHU won it. Goes off the glass and now comes free. Again, the Pride just dumping and chasing. It seems as soon as they get it out of their defensive end. It's a little bit better, but the pass not tape to tape, intended for Matthew Matarazzo. Sent ahead by William Hayes. Hard shot. Getting into it a little bit with William Hayes. Play continues up the other end. Great chance for O'Neill. Denied by Markoulis. Puck's still there. Now taken clear. Sent around behind the net to Eddie Jackson. Jackson comes out in front. Opts to get it to the point, Giuliano. Slapper from the point. Birch's shot meets the pad of Marcoux. Still there, now a whistle. Arm goes up and interference the call. Costly offensive zone penalty committed by William Hayes as Hofstra heads back to the man advantage. It seemed like pressure was starting to mount again for Sacred Heart. They forced that hectic stoppage a moment ago and seemed to be heading towards another one. But Hayes got a little bit ahead of himself, a check away from the puck. Sends Hofstra back to the power play, one that you figure they got to take advantage of. Early clearing attempt goes off of the Long Island Mustangs banner, out of play. Pride 0 for 2. Some struggles so far. They win the faceoff here, try to set it up. Comes over to Van Aren. Van Aren fires. That's blocked. Then a quick backhand, patted aside by James Birch. To the near side and clear. Kinzer, nice chip to himself. Holds it in. That's deflected, then cleared out. Hofstra still with some issues getting things set up, and a funky bounce off the stanchion nearly gave a shorthanded chance to the Pioneers. Long cross ice feed easily deflected and picked off. Another deflected pass. This one works out, settled down by Brendan Murphy. Murphy holds. Very smart play there to set it all the way back to Jason Benanti. He'll hold, run some more time off, now flip it all the way down. Killed a good 10 additional seconds. Rather than Murphy just sending a puck towards net. O'Neal. Still shorthanded for the next 45. That's sent up the far side. Probably trying to move forward. That's tipped along, still in the attacking end for the Pioneers. Now a stick tie-up allowed Hofstra to move forward, but the pass didn't connect with Del Panino. Luke Body waits, turns, glove down by Cox, but not on the right side of the blue line. Comes in with Benanti, left behind at the blue line. Benanti mines that line, walks in and fires it around. Falls back on defense immediately. 10 seconds to go on another Hofstra power play that has not seen the results. They walk in, comes in, they score! Well, excuse my language, as they prove me wrong. The goal brings it back to 1. They just walk it in. Timur Kadyrov works his magic on the backhand, up and over the shoulder of James Birch. Power play that just seemed dead in the water. Nothing generated until Timur Kadyrov took it into his own hands. 9th goal of the year for Kadyrov, 3rd, all on the man advantage. Cuts the deficit to 1, 2-1 Sacred Heart. That's just what the doctor ordered for the Pride. Another turnover, Matarazzo fires, glove save, Birch. Nearly turning the tides immediately for Hofstra. As this comes down, Colin Birch cuts it off. Cut down, a shot saved by James Birch, and he holds on. Take another look at that goal from Timur Kadyrov. This is an angle that'll really do it justice. The dangle and then the snipe on the backhand. Fantastic work from Timur Kadyrov. First goal of the night for Hofstra. Comes here on the power play on the second period. Looking for more Matarazzo. Matarazzo fires, knocked down by James Birch, then falls right on top of it. Another good look for Hofstra, though. So they're really starting to turn the tides in this game. That goal has given them the motivation, given them the confidence to say that they can go ahead in this game and score some goals. Chris Colo at the point, shot deflected by Matarazzo. Another one from the near side that's blocked. Now on the move, Brendan Murphy. Murphy, slow shot, stick to side Markoulis. Pride flipped this clear, glove down by Birch in the neutral zone. Played offside against Sacred Heart, allows Chris Colo to pick it up. Move to Devin Roy. Roy hustling for it, gets it at the end line. Backhand pass in front, unable to get a tip on it. As Kinahan leaves this behind, player wiped out for Hofstra. That was Matarazzo, but a good defensive recovery from Chris Colo prevented the 2-on-1 pass from finding its receiver. Fantastic job by Chris Colo taking the passing lane away. Sticking there, got the stick on the pass. If he didn't do it as a big check from Kadyrov, as the puck moved ahead. If he didn't do that, you're talking about a 3-1 game, likely headed into the locker room. I didn't want that after just getting the proximate goal. Giuliano couldn't find a receiver on that one. Delayed offside against O'Brien. Had to circle back for it. Moving forward, O'Brien. Left ahead to William Hayes. He dumps in. Back on the near side, no icing. Forcing the play by Sam Wiener. Wiener from behind his net. Left along, more space for Andre Hamper-Zumian. That's tipped ahead by SHU, but then off the glass by Hartshut, then up and into the netting by Matt Casola. The face-off, they say, comes right to center ice. Casola last night got an assist on the lone goal of the night scored by Dylan Kinzer. It was his first assist of the season. 6 goals before tallying his first apple of the year. And that goal for Kinzer was his first since late September. Long time coming. This is an onside move for Cox. Cox ran out of room, had Feza right there with him. A little bit of a case of too many cooks in the kitchen. Sacred Heart clears with John Campbell. John Campbell tries a shot but lost his balance. Del Panino with it for Hofstra. Long feed cut off by O'Brien. Or O'Neill, pardon. Noah O'Neill sends in. Nicoloizio there to cut it off for Hofstra. Minute and a half to go in period 2 as that's covered up by Hofstra netminder Spiro Markoulis. Faceoff comes to Markoulis' left. Faceoff that's won by Sacred Heart. The shot from Liam Joy, well wide. Back to the point. Deflected shot. That was blocked. Pride trying to move forward. Jordan Cox works through with it. Still had it with the stick. Cox tried to flip it towards goal. Goes wide. Comes out in front. Back to the point. Hard shot. Fanned on the shot. This could work out for SHU. Joy from the right. Fires a shot wide. Does stay in here. The Pioneers try to set it up. Puck trickling and then flipped clear by Hofstra. 46 seconds to go in period 2. Back with it, Benanti. Benanti works in, fires, save Markoulis, he holds on. Pride win this face-off, trying to find its way to Roy. No luck there as this is played in. AAU chases it down. It's Thomas Bayer. Bayer goes behind his back. Found a receiver in Murphy. One more to the near side. Motion back behind the net. Murphy looks for a man. Back to the point, kicked down by Colin Birch. Birch fires. Back to the top. Long shot into the glove. And then spilled by Markoulis. Shot goes wide as the second period comes to a close. One that has finally found some goal scoring. Each team on the board, but it's 2 for Sacred Heart that has them in the lead through 40. Take a timeout here on the Long Island Sports Network, but don't go too far. Final period of regulation here from the Freeport Rec Center coming up in just a few right here on the Long Island Sports Network. set to go for the third period between the Hofstra Pride and the Sacred Heart Pioneers right here on the Long Island Sports Network. Third and final period of regulation. Here from the Freeport Rec Center for the Hofstra Pride in the 23-24 campaign. And they want to end it off on the right foot. They trail by 1 through 40. Welcome back once again, everyone. Ian Binky right here on the Long Island Sports Network. Pride still have one more game to go here in the regular season. That one over in UBS. UBS Arena, the venue for the Pride, up against New Haven. That one's on Friday, though. They want to send the fans home happy right here on Long Island. Well, they win over Sacred Heart, a team that has beaten them 2 times before here this season. A chance to end the season on the right foot. Game against a tough opponent, of course, in New Haven on Friday. But the last game at home here in Freeport, and they want to get the fans one more thing to remember about this 23-24 campaign at home. Lone goal scored on the power play for Hofstra so far. That was Timur Kadirov's fantastic effort. A one-man effort, pretty much, taking it to the net himself after the Pride power play had not done a whole bunch to write home about for about the first 5+ minutes of power play time. Next goal is a big one as we are underway in the third period. 2-1 the score. Sacred Heart lead it. The Pride looking for that opening tally in the third, which would bring it level. Back behind the net, looking for some space. Dan Harchuk trying to clear. He finds Joey Schnatter on the far side. Schnatter crunched hard, left the puck behind. Allows SHU to keep it in. They hold the pressure. Comes right in front. And a nice save from Spiro Markoulis. Danger not clear. But then with some help from Dylan Kinzer, the Pride have some numbers. Over to Roy. Devin Roy fires. Blocker stopped, then up out of play as Birch got a piece. And Hofstra had the chance there, 3-on-2. With Shanner coming in, providing some attacking support. Couldn't make it count, although Roy's shot did challenge James Birch in goal. Only that one goal allowed so far from Birch. Quick shot off the draw. Devin Roy just missed. Looking for the Ovechkin-esque shot, where a lot of his goals come from nowadays, right off the face-off. From that face-off dot on the near side, from our broadcast vantage point. Win the draw, he'll handle the puck for just a moment, and then you blink, it's in the back of the net. Devin Roy tried to go right to that playbook. Couldn't get the shot on target. Timur Kadyrov works his way in. Hofstra in the midst of a change. And that doesn't stop Kadyrov before. He does dangle the puck and lose it on the near side. But right over to O'Brien, a chance there. Going to get it in front. Now this chipped along. Thinking about playing it Markoulis, but enough English on that puck. It comes behind for Murphy. David O'Brien works that clear for Hofstra. Brendan Murphy dumps this in. Heading off Alex Giuliano for a change. Does allow Hofstra to take possession. Kadyrov stumbles after the check from Thomas Bayer. Doesn't prevent him from pinning the puck in for a moment, though. Del Panino dumps this in. It was delayed offside against Hofstra, but they got back onside. Didn't matter. They didn't touch the puck anyways. Good communication on that line change. Sacred Heart thinking about trying to force them into a too many men penalty. No dice there as Kinahan brings it in. Kinahan rips and scores. Jack Kinahan, and the lead is back to 2. See right here, Kinahan Just found the puck, found enough time as he comes into frame. And then the shot, no chance for the netminder in Marcolis. Don't think he ever even saw it by the time he reacted. Puck behind him. As Kinahan scores, now he takes the solo team lead. 14th goal of the season for Kinahan, and lead back to 2 for the Pioneers. Said the next one would be huge, and it's done just that. Momentum now back in gray and red. As Sacred Heart on the board first in the third, but Van Aaron looking for the response. Sacrificial block shot from Thomas Bayer. Puck still there. A quick shot from Cox wide. Thomas Bayer putting his body on the line to get in the way of that shot. Kinzer, long shot, that's blocked again. This time it got a piece of Jason Benanti right in front of goal. Play whistle dead here. Looks like it did tip up and out. Talked a lot about what's next for Hofstra. We'll take a look at what's next on the schedule for Sacred Heart in a few moments here. This comes up the far side. Hartshut trying to bring it right back in. So is Devin Roy. That just stayed in on the blue line, but left behind by Joey Schnatter. Takes a tip here, no icing against Sacred Heart. Matt Matarazzo cuts through center. Matarazzo, quick shot, deflects wide. Hartshut, neutral ice, pins right back in. Pass comes out in front, still there for Sacred Heart. Back to the point, quick shot, Sam Wiener, gloved by Markoulis, he holds on. Sacred Heart, they've got a busy slate still to come. Still 3 games on the schedule, 1 more at home, and that is coming in just a few hours. In fact, here as we're at 10:13 on the East Coast, a little bit under 22 hours until they're back at home in Connecticut at the Martyr Family Arena. They have a date with the New York City Hockey Club, team that represents Columbia University. That's the last home game of the season for Sacred Heart. As Hofstra has a 2-on-1 here. Kadyrov wraps in, ran out of room, and left the puck behind. Sacred Heart clears this down. Hustling Maurer, not enough to beat out the icing washout. David O'Brien left this along. And a delayed penalty coming up to Sacred Heart. Markoulis hustles to the bench for the extra attacker. Cox is the extra man as Timur Kadyrov sets it up. Pass comes behind to Aloisio. Hofstra about to head to the power play. As now SHU touch up. Heading off the ice is Noah O'Neill. Hofstra a man to the good for the 3rd time tonight, rather the 4th time, pardon. They are 1 for 3 tonight. Kadyrov, opening goal for the Pride, came while a man up. Face-off won by Hofstra. Kinzer fires. That's caught in the gear of Birch, and he holds on to it. It's a good look for Hofstra. Birch looking through the screen, got a glove on it, then caught in his pads. Sacred Heart win the face-off and send this all the way down. After this 3-game slate on the weekend and the puck turned over, comes right in front, kicked the long, running out of room. Murphy, puck still there, Now Hofstra a chance to move with numbers with Feza. Feza left it behind. Brendan Murphy cleans that up. Oh, man. Thomas Bayer was looking for the huge hit, came up empty, wiped himself out on the glass. That's the risk you take when you come in with heat. Ended up taking himself out of the play. He had to hurry his way to the bench after that. Frank Feza, drop pass to Matarazzo. That was Chris Colo. Back to the point, Kinzer. Kinzer looks for the lane. Hands off. Van Aaron. Cross-ice feed, Cox. Cox's shot blocked up and out of play. Didn't hear a whistle, but apparently there was one. But to finish the point, 2 more weekends of action for Sacred Heart. Just 1 game each and both on the road. Next Friday when Hofstra is playing at UBS Arena, or I guess after they wrap up, because this game starts at 9:30. Pioneers take on the Fairfield Stags on the road. And then they wrap up their schedule, the non-Empire opponent in Newman University on Saturday, February 17th. 30 seconds to go on the Pride power play. Chris Colo fires, blocker save Birch. Rebound flipped up and clear by the Pioneers. Some good looks on this Hofstra power play. Maybe they get one more chance here. Kadyrov goes over to Roy. O'Neal standing at the penalty box door. Now he's back out on the ice. Back to 5-on-5. As this is covered up. Nothing further coming on that rush. It's a good chance on that Hofstra power play, as talked about before, but couldn't get it behind. It's a one-timer, they score! Rob Chris Colo from the point, brings it back to 1. Just right off the face-off. Chris Colo tried a howitzer from the point. And knuckling puck bounced up and through the pads of James Birch. Back to a 1-score game and plenty of time to work for the Pride. Chris Colo's 7th goal of the year. Good offensive production for the Blue Liner this year. 17 points for him now on the campaign. For Chris Colo, that was his goal, getting offensively involved. Had a 2-point night against Florida Southern College. Now a goal tonight to cut it to a 1-goal game. Reaching to keep that in, Barry Burke, rather 33, Colin Burke. Hofstra moving with the puck, it's O'Brien. Dave O'Brien fires over the crossbar. Races to keep it in. Some help from Casola. That Casola spins with it. A quick shot into the glove of James Birch. So Hofstra's 2 goals tonight have been of different varieties. The one from Timur Kadyrov, absolutely beautiful on a solo effort. This last one from Rob Chris Colo, a little bit different. The one he'll still want to put on his highlight reel nonetheless. Bouncing puck from the point that found a home. It's a 3-2 hockey game. Awkward bounce off the boards. What was I say? Due to keep that play alive. Frank Feza tries to clear to no avail. Pioneers on the near side boards. Now Feza takes it clear. Flips a pass along to Van Aaron. Van Aaron finds his way in. Takes a shoulder, lost it. SHU moved 2-on-2. Behind the back pass, Hamparzumian looking for a man. Found Garachi, he fired high and wide. Wiener back down low. Into a board battle. Hamparzumian helps out, but it's still tied up. Puck trickles past the blue line. Everyone has to tag back up for the Pioneers. Linesman got involved, even though he didn't want to. Tied up. Comes over to Brendan Yerkes. Yerkes, a backhand, comes right in front. Holding on to it, James Birch. They're playing the goal horn. I don't think that puck crossed the line. It did not. There they go. They shut it off. Hey, you had panic. Everyone here a little bit confused what was going on. Was a little bit awkward from Birch trying to cover that puck up. A little bit of legal interference there from Chris Colo, prevented an odd man rush. Still comes in with William Hayes. Hayes denied by Markoulis. Luke Body sends it back around. Eddie Jackson keeps the play alive, far side corner. Devin Roy can't clear past Body. Body fires well wide. The far side, Eddie Jackson whacks at it with the stick. Double teamed against the glass, but stays alive with Hayes. William Hayes to the point to Body. Loose stick on the ice, making life a little bit more difficult on Hofstra to clear. Sacrificial block shot from Dan Hartshut comes up the other end. Taking it wide, Dylan Kinzer. Kinzer leaves over, pass comes out in front, nobody there in white. Back to Matarazzo, fires, a great glove save. Let's take a look back at that last stoppage. So we see the puck is going to come in the frame here, over to the far side. The quick backhanded shot from Brendan Yerkes. Left right there, Cox tried to tap it in. No luck as it turned out, despite the goal horn sounding. Arm goes up here, but no icing. Winning the race with Sacred Heart. Comes right in front. A great reach around. They score. Sacred Heart brings it back to a 2-goal game. And all that resulted on the hustle to cancel out the icing. Keep the play alive. Pass comes back over to Jack Kinahan. Kinahan out in front. A shot didn't work out the first time, but Brendan Murphy right on the doorstep there to tap it in. Murphy's had a really good game. Now he's on the score sheet. 4-2 now the score, as the scoring has really ramped up. Late stages of the second, and here over halfway through the third. Miscommunication behind the Hofstra net. Allows this to be set up by Sacred Heart. Comes over to the near side. Hopping around. Looking for some space. It's Jake Kalani. Kalani tumbled down. Del Panino unable to clear. And look out there. Timur Kadyrov knocks his man hard to the ice. Shot goes wide. This shot goes off the outside of the post. Bouncing puck, Kadyrov able to clear. Well, Timur Kadyrov has had a really eventful game. A lot of big hits. Fantastic goal as well, as man wipes out here in Giuliano. Didn't help out Hofstra a whole ton. But this tipped in by Barry Burke. Burke stick tied up by Dylan Kinzer. Kinzer fights for it in the corner. Back to the top. Walking in was Colin Birch. He's knocked down. Shot comes from the near side, and it's covered up by Markoulis. Two-goal deficit for the Pride to climb. 7.5 to work with. Sacred Heart win the face-off. The shot from Wiener blocked. Still along the near side. Garachi looking for space. Takes it down low. Aloisio seals him to the glass. Left back along. Back to Wiener. Sent down to Liam Joy. Joy backhand pass. Lead is now 3 for Sacred Heart. 5-2 score. And 4.5 to go in this third period. It's the largest lead of the night for the Pioneers, as now the body's getting thrown around. Kinahan with a big hit on Matt Casola. Right here on senior night, trying to make an improbable comeback. Birch sends to the far side. That tipped away by O'Brien. David O'Brien making his impact felt in this game. Comes over to Brendan Yerkes. Yerkes couldn't keep it. That's tipped back in by the Pioneers. Yerkes trying to lurk in the neutral zone, set something up here for Hofstra. They need that spark. Colin Birch brings it in himself, pumps the brakes. Left it along the near side boards as it comes free with Casola. Van Aaron tries to split the D, but lost the puck, as that is covered up by James Birch. Once again, Hofstra's season not finished after this. Still one more game to go. And it's the big one to close out the year. UBS Arena against New Haven. We'll be there. We hope you're there too. But of course, if you can't tune in, as always, every home game this season, that is technically a home game for the Pride, will be broadcasted live right here on the Long Island Sports Network. Jordan Cox just lost that puck on the dangle. Stayed at the blue line for a moment, but then picked up and neutralized by Barry Burke. Burke lost it to Van Aaron. Van Aaron finds Fezza waiting at the blue line, over to Cox. Jordan Cox tries the backhand, stick save, James Birch. Comes along the near side boards, Hofstra trying to keep it alive. Looking for Van Aaron in front, tipped wide. Back along the boards here. Sealed there, Van Aaron by Brendan O'Donnell. 2-on-2 board battle as Hofstra changes on the fly. Van Aaron on his seat. Couldn't play that puck to a teammate, so it comes over to the Pioneers. They clear out, and on the rush, Brendan O'Donnell. Comes back over, the shot up and in the air after the block. Matarazzo got a piece of that one. So now he goes back to retrieve. Under 2 minutes to go. Matarazzo up the far side boards. Chipped ahead by Jake Rook. Couldn't find Devin Roy. Back along the near side, Hemper-Zumian. Nice move in. Andre Hemper-Zumian fires. Saved by Markoulis. And a clean check took him out of the play. Aloisio left along, onside move, Matarazzo, no, late whistle. Blows the play dead, offside against the Pride. Would have been a chance for Matarazzo to get Hofstra back within striking distance. A little bit ahead of the play, though, they roll. Devin Roy trying to get that over to Matarazzo. No luck on that move. Comes to the far side. Rob Criscolo has a goal in this game. Looking for an assist here, perhaps. As he works this forward. Flipped ahead, looking for Matarazzo. He's chasing it down. He had it for a moment. Able to find Kadyrov with it. Back down low. Devin Roy tried to flip it into the slot. No luck on that move. That's still along the skates there on the boards. 45 seconds to go here in the third. So now Devin Roy down. Play continues as Roy gets to his skates. Left behind, a stick lift attempt allows Hofstra defensive support to arrive. Kadyrov flips along the near side, under 30 to go. Couple players wiped out. That creates some room for Bonanti. Bonanti here moves in, tries the wrap around, and Markoulis got there to make the save. One more save on his stat sheet as the Pride flip clear to neutral. O'Brien never giving up on the play, hustling hard. But this goes in the books. 5-2, a Sacred Heart win over the Hofstra Pride here on senior night. Tough luck for the Pride as they drop this one. But the season still has something to play for. Of course, they got the playoffs up in Shelton at the month's end. But more than that, they've got a game at UBS Arena, the same ice that the Islanders play on. In under a week, Friday night, 6 o'clock, puck drop between the Pride and New Haven. We'll see you there, either at UBS Arena or on the Long Island Sports Network. But until then, my name is Ian Binky. We'll see you next time. And then take care. Have a good one.